Welcome to OutoNav.com for the best of 2015, and we're going to be going to the best controls in a video game of 2015 this year. Right away, Splatoon and Super Mario Maker, I felt like were obviously Nintendo games, but they had two Nintendo games that really set the bar for controls and like utilization of the Wii function, like the Wii pad. I mean, you know, we're Super Mario Maker. I mean, that game was freaking created just for their control, like their control system. Like, I mean, you know, placing everything, it was like flawless. There wasn't any lag. Like sometimes you can get that, like you're touching your touch screen, like everything was perfect, man. Placing down tiles, like
and take something
copying and pasting,
move it around, you get something even different.
Yeah, you find a fly swatter sometimes, and you can do like a little fly mini game, and like. And then once you actually started playing it, it was just like you're playing a Mario game.
Yeah, the
like,
physics were perfect.
And like it transformed. Like you were just done creating one click, boom, you're back in the game. You're jumping around, checking out your shit, like, seeing what's going on. And stuff.
You couldn't have wanted that game to play any better. Like I get some people are like, well, the physics aren't exactly like they were in the original, but
those are speedrunners and like.
And you needed it. They had to make concessions to make it work, and it worked, and it was good.
Yeah, it was like perfect. Like it was better than I had actually imagined. And Splatoon, another Nintendo game that kind of used more or less, it was using the second screen as a map. But I felt like rolling paint and like shooting stuff on the walls, like everything like ran pretty good. Some of the stuff was kind of like a little janky, and lag was kind of an issue because the Nintendo, you know, network for multiplayer.
Yeah, but most importantly. It made me use the control pad with motion controls, which I had never thought I would want to do in my entire life. And I picked that thing up and I tried to use the analog controls, and it wasn't as precise to me.
Which was
just
super
the motion
weird,
controls, which is really weird.
I've never experienced that either, and like the only problem I had with that is like sometimes the game would like pause or like go in between, and if you had the controller like sitting down at your legs or like up high, it didn't. You had to press something to recalibrate it. Because like then you'd try and play with it, and your character would be like looking at the ceiling, but you're like in the normal spot. So like there's like little things like that, and it didn't happen frequently enough to like mess me up. But dude, I think you're right. Like using that controller to like
was such a weird thing that it actually worked.
I know when we first started playing it, you're like you gotta use this, and I was like, nah, give me the sticks, dude. Like, I tried the sticks, and you just couldn't like move fast enough and do like some of the stuff that you could do with like. The controller itself, dude. So.
I'm gonna throw a sports game into the mix here. A little Pro Evolution Soccer 2016. I shit over that game a lot because of the way it was released, but you and I played it, and you also played a little FIFA, and it's just really tight. Like it's like one of the best controlling sports games I've ever played. I feel like I push the button and it happens exactly the way I want it to happen.
And you felt it was better than FIFA?
As far as tight controls, yeah. I mean, even you saw in FIFA, like the animation and stuff was really great, but sometimes the animation takes over. And you're not entirely
in control. Yeah.
But
that's
in
exactly
this game,
I
feel like I'm always in control. Like Madden did a really good job this year too, but it also was like fun for different reasons by like hitting the Y button to do like crazy catches where it took you out. But in PES, it's like I'm passing it, I'm dinging it. I'm probably it's not gonna win, but it's the only sports game I had on here because it was really well put together sports game when I didn't expect it to be.
Yeah, and then when we transferred from that to FIFA, like
you had a really hard time actually transitioning between the two.
I was trying to do stuff, and I felt like the game was taking over for me when I wanted to do it, or I wanted to do something different. I would hit a direction, and my character would just kind of almost get sucked into an animation or sucked into something, and I was like, that's not what I wanted to do, but I guess we'll do it and lose the ball or whatever, and I was just like, and I'm not the best, dude.
You were afraid to go near the out of bounds line at all because you knew like the character would keep running and you'd have to try to like get him to turn.
Yeah.
Or in PES, it's just like it's a little less realistic and a little bit more arcadey. I'll probably get killed for that, but it's totally true.
Well, graphically it is. It looks like an arcade game.
And the characters run like it's just really weird. But you get to the corner and you turn and you know you're going to turn. So that's really good controls for a sports game, but it will whack it.
We're going to whack it already?
We'll whack it. I just wanted to talk about it.
All right. Tristan, what do you got for best controls here?
I think I went with Halo 5 Guardians because basic shooter controls, it worked. And yeah, nothing too complex about it.
Nothing, yeah.
Played like Halo to me. Like I jumped in and played it,
and you could just feel it out, and
it worked.
The guns, did they have like the guns? Could you feel the difference in guns? Like sometimes the recoil and stuff like that, and controls.
Not to me,
like in Rainbow
I'm not
Six.
a Halo expert.
Like in Rainbow Six, I felt like the controls, like the guns and stuff, like feel a
they
little
had some
different.
of those more advanced guns. I forget the alien race where they come from, where they're like not fully put together, but they're like floating around each other, which is cool. And then when you shoot someone, they like break down.
Gotcha.
And you get the feel of it, and I kind of liked using those guns a little bit better. But as far as controls, I mean, it was simple.
It works.
Yeah.
It
What
works.
about an early freebie this year, Rocket League?
Dude, that would almost be my pick for this category. And the sheer fact I don't think I've played a game that controlled as well as that game. Like, it just did what I wanted to do at all times. And on top of that, it was very simple, but also unbelievably complex. So in the right hands of a person that played a lot of that game,
You could execute some
you can do
crazy
things
shit.
that normal people can't do. And for no other advantage, and the controls are so good that you learn how to do them. And you became one with the car. Like Neo.
One with the car.
I know, right?
It was crazy. Like, after you play that game for like 5 minutes, you're like, fuck this, I can't control this thing. You play it for an hour and you're like zipping around, doing backflips, doing crazy diving headers, and all of a sudden you're good at it.
I did jump into the game not knowing any of the controls, and it was really easy to figure it all out.
gas, turbo, and that's
Yeah.
it, and jump, and then you can do flips with the stick.
And figuring out like the different angles you want to go at, like it all worked.
And it comes together in like a really cool package.
And didn't feel cumbersome or like
No.
slow or
You
anything
always
like
feel
that.
in control. You always feel like if someone scores or you didn't block the goal, it was your fault. Like, you could have hit the stick the other way or jumped a little earlier. It's always on you when things go south, which is really important.
Yeah, no, totally. Like, especially in a racing game, like, not really a racing game, but a driving game, I should say, where it can feel like shit or like braking and turning and stuff like that. What about Tomb Raider or Mortal Kombat 10?
I mean, Mortal Kombat X was a great fighting game, and it played exactly like you'd want Mortal Kombat to play. The timing was good. The animations like rolled when you hit the buttons. There was really little lag. It was a good fighting game. It was, to me, is like in the same category as Halo. It did exactly what it was supposed to do, and has always done. And it was
And its controls
Not-
that carry over from generation to
Can't fault
generation.
it. Yeah.
Like, you remember some of those like back and then B or whatever it
So
does.
you know-
and,
yeah, you
like
know what
and
the
it still
moves are.
works. It still does something cool, and
What about Tomb Raider?
Tomb Raider.
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
I would say yes and no.
Climbing and jumping.
Climbing and
shooting.
everything works. I had a couple issues like jumping from, like I always have in Uncharted. Like, you try to get to an edge and you jump and you just fucking miss, and you're like, ah, man, why did that happen?
Yeah, when
or
you've
wonder why it
done that.
doesn't latch on when it latches on other weird spots where you don't expect it to.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say Tomb Raider, like a little too animation heavy for me, and it's not as tight as I want it to. But there's some times in that game where you're like, you feel like a badass.
'Cause
And
you
it's
did
when
it,
it's
you're
all
like,
clicking.
holy
When it's
crap.
all clicking, that game controls really well. But there's like that one moment it'll take you out, and you're like, God damn it.
And then you're like, fuck. Because I had that experience in Uncharted. I'm playing Uncharted, and I'm going through, and I'm like, all these jumps that I've made like for the whole game, and then I go and try and do one, and it's like he's jumping like I don't know where he's jumping, dude. He's just jumping all over the place, and I'm like, this is awful, man. And like sometimes you try and roll and you don't catch the wall, and like you're trying like because you know you want to hide behind the wall, and your guy ends up just rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling, and you're blown up with a grenade. So like some of that shit, dude, just drives me crazy, and I can see that happening in Rise
Yeah.
of the Tomb Raider easily. So I think. Where are we landing here so far? We got Splatoon, Super Mario Maker. I'm gonna take Splatoon off, dude, just because like I felt like
Yeah,
some
I
of
had
the-
trouble with it sometimes, and I was really flipping back and forth in the beginning. Once it got going, it was good, but we'll take that one down.
Super Mario Maker and Rocket League. I feel like
Yeah,
those are leading the
those are probably
charge
the
right
top
now. And Super Mario Maker, I have a hard time not giving it best controls because it did like there wasn't a bad
utilized all the
thing.
controls,
The
too.
UI, the interface, like everything that you could do. And then once you played the game, I mean, there might have been a little bit of difference, but I mean, unless you're one of those guys who plays Mario as a speedrunner or like insane, like it's pretty hard to beat. Like you know, it does what it does, I guess you can say, but it added the whole element of creating
Sold.
whatever you want to.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Like it's just
I mean,
one of the
Rocket League was
coolest-
so simple, but Mario Maker was so complex, and all the complexity of
Executed.
it worked.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
perfect.
All right, I'm good. I'm good. Done. Mario Maker. Let's
We're
do
good.
Super
There it
Mario
is.
Maker.
Look at Dano.
So, AlexandNav.com 2015 best controls in a video game, Super Mario Maker on the Nintendo Wii U. I gotta say Super Mario Maker because it was originally Mario Maker, right?
Yeah, it's very confusing.
We don't want to
Super
mess
Mario.
anybody up. So.